So, welcome to vlog number 4 of Jeff's workshop, and I see in front of me those 5 sets of conrods that you've been machining for a while now, and I see they have progressed somewhat in that you've now got more shape to them. So what's happening at the moment?
Well, we've radiused the ends,
yeah,
as we can see.
Yeah.
The only snag is, on one of them it left a little saw mark where we'd cut them, so I've took them all to the same.
Right.
Unfortunately, it's left about a millimetre step.
Yeah, you can see there. You go back a bit, we can see it. Yeah.
Right. So what we're doing is we'll reset them back up in the horizontal mill, and we'll redo them faces and polish them in.
Right. So is that just for one set though? Or is that for all of them?
That's for all of them.
Oh dear.
What I'm trying to do is work the dimensions all the same, because if you try and do them all to different sizes, when I come in to do the little ball cuts, you're trying to work with too much information. So you try and keep everything to the same spec.
Okay. And I see you got a conrod there, the old conrod. From Kawasaki.
That's the old Kawa one.
Yeah.
What we've got to do is saw that off and grind it. And so then that ring will be. We don't want it. We want it to press in, but we don't want it too tight.
Yeah, not too tight, not too loose.
You know, we don't want to, because it's going to put pressure on the aluminium, which is what we don't want. So, it'd be nice to do is maybe about a couple of thou maximum.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that in one of the previous vlogs. So anyway, you've been getting with that, but you've also been doing some other things I see on your workshop bench, and so let's go look at that now. Okay, so on the workbench are these 2 big chunks of metal, which you've got some sort of markings on them, scribed on some circles. So what's going on with these, Jeff? Right,
well, we had, due to the blower on the Honda, the little M30, we did have that was a chunk. I've had it sawn in half this morning.
Yes, yeah.
What we're going to do is make a central blower case. We've got enough material to make 2.
That sounds like a lot of work. Now, you were telling me...
It's a lot of work, but what I want to do is try and make a supercharger that looks old-fashioned.
Right, even though it's not.
Even though it's not. Right. What we've got to do...
Well, before you go on to that, here I've got in my hand a worn-out, damaged rotor.
That's a damaged rotor out of an Eaton M45.
Right, okay. And next to it, you actually got one that's not damaged.
We've got 2. The only thing is you can pick them up, these superchargers, very, very cheap, because you get a lot of Teflon off it's only about it's not very thick, a thou, couple of thou thick, a Teflon coating.
Well, that feels there like it's been damaged.
Well, they get all sorts of, that had Teflon on it, but you actually remove.
So you've removed the
paint stripper. It's a paint stripper will bring it straight off.
Right. But what's the point? Because it's actually so knackered. That's not going to seal, is it?
Well, I was just. It's a test. That can be a test
piece, right?
It's
a test piece. But here, you reckon you can take off the Teflon off this, and it'll be quite decent.
Yeah.
Right. So they're just kind of like little lips on it. There, little.
What you will find is you may lose a couple of thou off the tips when it interlocks. If you're running fuel through it, it's not a major problem.
Because the fuel helps to seal it.
The fuel will help to seal it.
Which you don't do on standard applications.
And probably an old wave blower of the era, this would probably still be well within tolerances of the old wave superchargers and Marshalls and what have you.
So before then we carry on, we'll just go over there and look at a standard supercharger that you've modified, and then we can explain what this is all about and why you're making it. So let's just move. Okay, so here is another blower. This one's what's one?
That is an Eaton M. That's funnily enough. That's the casings that the knackered rotors
the original
are out of.
Okay. Now, as you can see, so this central casing here is original, and then you've made this end case here from solid billet.
This has been made from billet, yeah.
Yeah. And now what you're going to do is make the central case out of billet too.
Yeah.
And so you get billet, and billet at that end as well. It seems like a lot of work to me, but you know, whatever keeps you happy. And is that going to be for this then? Is that going to be for the Honda?
I was actually looking at it and I'm thinking, for a classic bike, it looks these Eaton kit they look too modern.
Do you think so? Oh.
Yeah. Some look a little bit.
See, I think that's quite old-fashioned. It's got sort of the ribbing in it and stuff like that.
What I'd like to do is the end case is have it so it looks like it's
one unit.
Do you remember the one that I sold?
Yes.
And I'd milled it to look
Nice. Yeah.
Like old-fashioned.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
That, I think when you're building something like this.
So what will it look like then? I mean, so you have a solid piece. What will it look like? Are you going to add some sort of ribs in it or something?
What we're going to do when I'd done the barrel, and it was the barrel that gave me the idea.
Yeah. If
you can imagine that barrel with a port and
yes. Oh, okay. So it looks a bit like that.
Got grooves, so you've got a ball grooves
all the way around
that just come right round to it.
Yeah.
See, on the Eaton, them ports are quite massive.
Yeah.
And on this, all you need. Are we still on?
Yeah. It's okay.
If I can grab that.
Yeah, bring it back.
Just in marker pen there, all we need to do is, because it'll have an 1 3/4" carburettor on it, well, we can just bore a 2-inch hole in it.
Right, okay.
And flow that into the impellers of the supercharger. Okay. We can just have 4 bolts and...
But I thought you wanted to get this thing ready to run in next year's Dragstelgia, which is now about 12 months away. And it seems to me like you're adding more work for yourself. Like that, you don't need to have a brand new.
No, I don't.
But you want one, don't you? So you're just adding work there, aren't you? You're making a rod for your own back, lad. But so be it. So be it. Okay, so you're saying that this is going to be used as some kind of test.
Well, I've got piece. What I've got it is these are just over 4 inches, and the block's 90mm. So I need to remove 10mm off the length.
Oh right, okay.
Because it's. So
would that not reduce?
We'll be making.
So it's completely. So how hard are these things? Is it easy to machine them down?
You can file them.
Oh, okay.
They're not hard at all.
So you'll take this down from about what 4 inches to 90mm.
Well, we need to remove possibly about maybe 3/8 to 1/2 inch off it. Off the width.
Right.
That we don't need. We've actually got these 17mm bearings that we can put in the end case, double rollers with the original Eaton seals, and just have like an end cap on them. Right. I mean, the Magnussons only have roller bearings like that in them.
Well, the amount of work it's going to do, it's going to be running for a few minutes. For
the length of time it's running,
it's not. The wear is not going to be an issue.
Not going to worry it.
Okay, so that's some interesting work to do, and we'll come back and see that another day. Vlog number whatever 10, I don't know when this thing will be finished. So I look forward to seeing that. And in the meantime, I think it might be time for tea now. So we'll have a little break, and then we can come back and look at what else is going on. Okay, so Jeff, what are you making today? That looks like something for a blower.
It's a supercharger end case.
Okay.
I've decided to
do a complete case.
To use Eaton M45 bits, as I think we mentioned the last time. And I'm going to make some billet cases that look like the old Marshalls. I think it'll look very in keeping with the bike.
So not only going to make the centre, you're also going to make each end case.
We're making the 2 end cases. Virtually, you won't know it's got Eaton bits in it when it's done. You'll think it's
okay. And I see there's a couple over there that you've been working on already.
Yeah.
There's 2 or 3 over there. While here on the bench, we can see some more work has been done on these billet conrods. These have been shaped now. I mean, there's still an awful long way to go, but you can see here they are starting to look like conrods at last. And this here is just a piece used to hold it in place on the miller. So yeah, we're getting there, and still a long way to go. But that's progress so far today. Where are we? At in the middle of August. So maybe by the end of August or by the next vlog, these will be finished, but we'll have to wait and see about that. And now here we are a few days later, and we can see progress on these supercharger cases. In fact, it's not made 1, it's made 3. 1, 2, 3. And let's look at this one here in the middle. We've got 3 different pieces here. We've got the end case, the gear case, which looks something like that with the bearings and so on. That's the original one, and this will be the centre. Now looking at this one here, you can see it's been machined down only halfway. And so if we pull that out of here, we can see that. You can see it's just a start there. It's been roughly drilled out, and the reason why it's been machined out halfway and this has been left as a ledge is so that this can be clamped on the milling table nice and firm using these ledges, and then the centre here can be drilled out to make room for 2 of these rotors which go in there. So that's why these have all been left kind of half finished. There's a reason for that. And if we go on the bench, we can see one of the end cases that have now been machined a bit more, and so let's look at that over on the workbench. And so here on the left we've got an end case piece that's been further machined. As you can see, it's got a lot more work to it, and it's sitting on a plate which no doubt will be machined in the same way to bolt it to. So that's that. But over here on the right in the middle we've got an end case of an original Sprintex blower, and this is the original one here. And you can see internally you've got these two holes which are interlocking to hold the rotors that spin together and suck in the air and blow them out the top. So that's kind of how an original Sprintex blower looks from the inside. That's just a case, of course. So it's these things that we're trying to replicate in solid billet like this thing here. So that's progress so far, and no doubt we'll come back next week or perhaps the next vlog and see what else has been done in the meantime.